Hi again. My name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and today we're going to be doing the second half of my What Sold video, which will be for last Friday through Sunday, May 30th to June 1st, the absolute worst weekend ever. I don't have very much to share with you guys. It was so bad that Sunday I didn't even make $100. 11,000 items. It was awful. It's awful. It was awful.
This past week's been better, though.
It has. And I truly, my gut tells me, yes, eBay was having issues, but I didn't run a sale that week. I always run sales. I have ran sales for years, but I didn't run a sale that week because I wanted to test how the coupon would do all by itself. And I got my answer. Don't ever do that again. So this week I'm back to my normal. I'm running a sale and that is it. And I've had, well, I had some surprise, well, not even surprise sales, but some really high, super high dollar sales, which has just, made my week way above average. So we'll be sharing that next week. Our friend Ben, with the Reseller Locker Room podcast, his group is organizing a reseller meetup. It's the East Tennessee Reseller Meetup for the end of September. And he invited us on his podcast this past week to talk about the meetup and talk about, eBay and my reselling history. And, Robert and we just kind of chit-chatted for an hour and a half or so. So, if you'd like, go on over, support their channel, watch the video, leave them a comment, give them a thumbs up. And then if you are interested in the reseller meetup, he's got all the links in his video.
I don't care if you're interested or not. Get your butt here in September.
Yeah, all the information's over there on his channel to attend the reseller meetup. It's like the end of September.
26th, 27th, and 28th.
Something like that, yeah. And it's here in our town, and we're going to be helping them by providing a map of all the yard sales.
If you're interested in that sort of thing at all, hop over there and check out their video.
Yeah. All right.
Link in the description. Did you say that?
Oh, no. But there'll be a link in the description.
After I forget it, somebody reminds me, and then I get it.
That's how it happens. Let me go ahead. I had one Etsy sale, which... Again, I told you guys in the last video, it seems like for me personally, my experience, when my eBay sales are up, my Etsy sales are up. And when my eBay sales are down, my Etsy's are awful also. So I didn't hardly sell anything this entire week, even though I've been listing consistently 10 items a day for a couple of weeks now. So... it was just disappointing.
Wanda over at Got Junk in Our Trunk says the same things about her eBay and Etsy stores. When one's up, the other one's up.
My one and only sale on Etsy was this Russ Home Buddies striped mouse plush. I have a 10% sale going on Etsy consistently now also, and it ended up selling for $29.65. This is not my mouse. My mouse is still sitting over there waiting for the pegboard.
If y'all are liking this, hit the like button and leave a comment.
And then this, it was pretty much like a typical sale this past weekend. I was trying to do anything and everything to get some sales, hoping that it would give me some favor and eBay would start, doing better. But I sold this Tomy Pokemon Master Ball plush from 2016 for $6.
I got to interrupt one more time here as we're starting. In Friday's video, you started to say something, but I had a follow-up about the previous thing, and then you never finished what you were going to say initially, that you were starting to do, on old items, bigger offers yourself.
Yes. Did I not finish that thought?
No, we went down like a 2-minute something else, and we never got back to it.
Yes. I am on the Robert bandwagon as far as anything that I listed before 2024. I am sending automatic 40% offers. It's on sale for 10%. So technically I'm sending 50% off of the original listing price offers. Because, it's got to go. it's just ridiculous to keep holding on to it, to have any kind of feelings, emotions about these items. They need to go. 2 years or more sitting in my store is just ridiculous. So 40% offers. And yeah, a lot of them are selling for super low dollar. But I know I'm still making a profit and they'll be gone. And hopefully, you know, I can start refilling bins with faster selling items, higher dollar items, because, you know, I've been really trying to focus on that type of stuff. Other than, you know, when we're at the bins and I do my bread and butter stuff, which, you know, we don't get to go very often.
It's a lot of words to say Robert was right.
Yeah. All right. Epic Calico Critters furniture. I tend to find pieces and parts of these and then I just keep adding. This is one of those instances where, you know, I had a couple of pieces and then I found a few more pieces. Ended up making this lot, listed it back in March, and it sold for $34.95 minus the 10% coupon.
For some reason, I think I've heard people call that epoch.
Epic, isn't it?
Well, that's what Google, the top search result in Google saying. It was just
epoch. I mean, I can get that.
However,
Anybody?
My boss says epoch.
Yeah. You ain't my boss.
I'm just reading Reddit here.
I've always could. Epic.
You're not the boss of me either.
The boss of me.
And someone else says like epic. So, you know.
All right. Good. Well, it's good to know that I'm not messing that one up too. All right. Millica Mills White Tiger Plush. Again, old. Won't be picking that up again. Finally sold $8.95. All right. Gilead Women's Terry Cloth Beach Cover-Up. Not remembering where I got this from. It could have been a bins pickup, but it could have also been from an estate sale end of last year. Sold for $19.68 minus the 10% coupon.
Apparently epoch is the British pronunciation.
Oh, epoch. All right. Old Navy distressed women's jeans sold for $12.48. This might have been, other than that furniture lot, might have been my second highest selling item. This was DreamWorks Patch Up Pets Bear Plush. I think this was a bins find. I just listed it and it sold right away, $29.95. Yeah, I listed it on the 29th and these are my sales, I think, from the 30th. So sold the next day. All right, this was from an estate sale / somebody who was going out of online reselling yard sale that was local to us. Bought a bunch of handkerchiefs for super cheap, couple of bucks. Ended up making these small lots. Kind of wasn't the greatest way to take pictures. I just kind of stuck them on our picture board that's right over there and took pictures and then took up close-ups of each one. Ended up selling $19.95. I still think I have a few left. Animal Adventure Rabbit Plush from 2017, $8.95. Telling you, I was desperate for any sales that weekend. In fact, I left this one up to Robert because I had just listed his Monty Python and the Holy Grail book and got a $9 offer. Me personally, I wouldn't have gone that low already right after listing it. In fact, I had just listed it that morning, May 30th, but he said make it gone. So $9.
I said make it gone and hope it'll help the algorithm.
Yep, exactly.
Didn't help a whole lot.
Nope, got worse because Sunday was terrible.
Help, I'm being oppressed.
Orange knit pumpkin plush. You know, it could have been homemade. I wasn't quite sure. Sold for $9.95.
If y'all ain't seen that movie, go watch it.
Oh, I didn't realize it went to something.
No,
the Monty Python.
The Holy Grail. Yeah.
I've seen snippets, but no, I've never watched it. It's just not my cup of tea.
No, probably not.
This I bought 3 boxes of doll clothes at my favorite little estate sale company. I've already forgotten how much I paid. $10 a box maybe. And I made myself sort through all of it. And I kind of put, I had Cabbage Patch and Build-A-Bear and, some other name brand doll clothes in there, which they all went into either small lots or individually. But then there was a bunch of just no name brand, regular vintage looking doll clothes. I just started making lots. Whatever would fit on my little area, I just laid them out. And I think I've sold a couple lots, but this particular one sold for $19. But I've got like 4 or 5 more totes and bags full of doll clothes I need to get to or get rid of. Tie Buddies, Samson the dog from 2003. That's my new thing is, checking the comps. But for the most part, a lot of the cats and dogs in the Tie Buddies series have done well for me. This one, I think, was a Ben's pickup, and it sold for $19.95 without the ear tag. All right, not remembering where this came from, but it was just a bunch of dice that I ended up throwing out on my picture cube area, taking a picture, and it took about a little over a year to sell, but it sold for $19.95.
Dice like that are used in role-playing games a lot of times. If you want a 1 in 4 chance or a 1 in 20 chance, you get more variations in probability than just 1 in 6 with regular dice.
Vintage Skunsies ponytail holders. I think, based on the feedback that I got back, which was positive, I think they were thinking these were adult size ponytail holders. And I had put on there that it was Skunsie Kids. Like I said, she still left positive feedback, but I think they were smaller than she was expecting. Sold. It took almost 2 years to sell. Probably not something I'm going to pick up unless it's like in a bulk lot. But they sold for $15.96. I think when I shared these with you guys in a haul video, somebody said, aren't you afraid of them being dry rotted because they were from 1998. I pulled on them. Yeah, you need to check them to make sure that, just like elastic, shorts and underwear and doll clothes, the elastic in them sometimes dry rots and they just, don't work. Sanrio Hello Kitty 6-inch plush from 2012. Listed this in April, so it took about a month to sell. $14.95.
I'm going to head you off at the pass with this because I know you're going to say something about my last couple of days here.
Just bring it on.
I'm just going to throw myself out there.
He's scaring me.
He ain't scaring you.
He's scaring me.
I get distracted. So today was cleaning my desk because I needed to find some tax papers, and my desk is sort of a storage space for papers and such.
It's a disaster.
So I went looking, and it wasn't there because but there's a very tall coaster there that belonged to RJ's grandpa, and I put my jar of tea on there and thought that's a really bad idea. But no, it's fine. You got this. And then like 2 minutes later, I knocked it over, dumped it right on my mouse, got on my keyboard, all over flash drive. So I had to
take... And a million pieces of paper.
No, those were gone at this
okay.
point. And so I had to go spray water on everything because at that point they're soaked with tea. Might as well...
Sugared tea.
Might as well, yes. I mean, proper tea is sugared.
Okay. Let's just say his nephew calls it diabetes because he put so much sugar in it.
Got to make it right. So anyway, it's all rinsed off. And earlier today, we went to the post office, and I was taking stuff in. I hopped out, and...
I'm looking at my phone, and here I hear... And I look up, and he's screaming at me, "The truck's in gear, it's moving!" And we're heading slowly towards the glass doors of the post office. And you want to finish with the last one?
No, because you didn't let me tell the part where I had gotten out of the truck, walked around the truck, opened the door, got the packages out, and was walking in the post office when I realized the truck was moving.
Yes, moving with me in it.
So I had to stop and push on the front of it to hopefully think that maybe I could overpower the idling engine of the truck.
Keep it from going through the glass doors.
Yes. And then this should have been last because it would have been a great finale. Last night we're cooking supper, and I was sitting at the table, and I decided I was going to make some tea, so I put the pot on the stove to heat it up. And we have an air fryer with a glass top. We have an air fryer with a little wire rack that you cook your French fries or whatever in that we'd done earlier, and it was sitting on the stove, and I turned on the wrong burner, and the burner I turned on had the little wire basket from the air fryer,
which would have been fine.
Which would have been fine, except it had a rubber plastic spatula sitting in it, which from the heat eventually caught on fire. It was like
this high fire.
And yeah, and she wouldn't even take a picture of it. She was.
Y'all, we are connected to an alarm system that, is monitored and calls the police, calls the fire department when the alarms go off. So while he's trying to go get the pan that's on fire, I'm picking up his phone because they're going to call us to see if they need to send the fire department. I've got his phone. I'm trying to stay out of his way with the fire, but I need to head to the alarm box to turn the alarm off. And he's yelling, "Take a picture, take a picture." And I'm like looking at his phone, waiting for it to turn on. Plus I'm trying to get the alarms turned off so they don't. And I'm like, at that moment, I couldn't even think. I don't even know where the icon on his camera, his phone is to take the picture, but no. It was, y'all. And then our house was full of smoke. So yes, this has been the last 18 hours of life with Robert.
It's been exciting, hasn't it?
Yeah. Nope. All right, let's finish this video.
I have one more thing. Back when I was a cop, I stopped somebody, and I had a ride-along with me for the night, and Scott, and I went up, talked to the driver, got their license, came back, sat down, and he said, "Put the car in park." So,
it's not because you're old.
It's not because I'm old. I get distracted sometimes and forget to do things.
All right, Shamlanders, Moochie Bean Cloth Plush. I remember picking this up just because it was odd. It sat here forever because I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with it. Finally listed it though. Sold for $10. Panda Bear plush, Walmart, embroidered eyes. Again, a really, really old listing. Sold for $8.95. Judy Instructo weather flashcards. I think this was like in a box lot with other books and stuff. Sold for $20. Tahari White Koala Bear Pink Lovey sold for $16.95. Fiesta Black Bat Plush just listed on the 20th, so it sold on the 1st for $14.95. Douglas Penguin Plush from 2021 sold for $9.95. And these vintage dog figures, a collie and a golden retriever, sold for $8.50. All right, y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed this and our stories for the day. But look, we're getting ready to do a haul. Get all my treasures from the weekend. So we're getting ready to do that haul, and then it'll be time to go eat some lunch.
We're having our meetup tonight.
Yes.
Our monthly meetup. We're in Johnson City at Logan's. So if you're watching this tomorrow night, get your time machine, go back in time, meet us there, or show up next month.
Next month.
Next month. We're not going to do it the weekend of Independence Day because Independence Day is that weekend, but we'll do it the weekend after Independence Day at Southern Craft.
Probably Southern Craft here
with the burnt ends here in Greenville.
Yep. All right, y'all. Get to work. Bye.